Hi guys, so we're back again with another reading, and this one is all about what you should expect in the month of June. So, what kind of events do you guys have coming up? What is going to be changing in your life? What do you have to look forward to? It could have to do with career, with love, with friends, with money, with literally anything. So we're keeping it very open-ended and letting spirit let us know what you have to look forward to. And if you guys happen to be watching this in the future for some reason, you can totally use it as a timeless reading and get the guidance for your next upcoming month of whenever you're watching it. So with that being said, if it's your first reading, you want to go to the one that just seems to be energetically calling you in and drawing your attention to it. You don't want to overthink it too much. Just go with that first instinct and your message will be inside that pile. So I'm going to show you guys the numbers on each of the piles. I also want to mention to you guys that I do have my Patreon and a lot of fun readings over there. The last one I posted is all about what you should change or do to faster achieve your manifestations. So to get to where you want to go, what can you change or adjust? So it's a really good reading, and there's a ton of extra readings over there, including some really fun ones. So definitely check it out. The link is in my bio for that. And now let me show you guys the numbers on each of the piles. We are using crystals today. So this is pile number 1. Then we have number 2, number 3, and number 4. So if you guys need more time to decide, you can totally feel free to rewind, pause, take as much time as you need, but we are going to go ahead and jump into pile 1. Hey, pile 1. So if you guys picked this card, this is going to be your reading. You guys got Gateway, and for your tarot, you got the Emperor reversed, a 3 of Cups, the Hermit, Page of Wands, Judgment, 8 of Swords reversed, 7 of Cups, and the Hanged Man reversed. So what I'm getting for you guys right away is that you guys are going to be getting some very important downloads this month. This is kind of a spiritual glow up month for you guys. I don't know if this last eclipse hit in a very integral part of your chart. That could be within the first house, hitting something like the midheaven, hitting a house cusp, or hitting a major planet where it's really tightly aspecting that. But it seems to me like there's major changes happening to you guys that have to do with this eclipse, and you guys are kind of spending time alone thinking on this, but getting into a better and higher flow. I see this as kind of like a month of preparation for you guys, where it's about to take off a little bit later, if I'm being honest. This month seems kind of like the calm before the storm for you guys. Like it feels like we're gearing up to something, and we're kind of resting a little bit, and we're kind of thinking on a lot of stuff, getting a lot of downloads, having a lot of kind of like deep reminiscing and a lot of deep knowledge and stuff. And never think like, okay, so this is a boring month. No, not at all. One of my most integral moments in my life that I look back on as like the summer that I just did the most work. I wasn't, doing that much if you look at like what I did that summer. But I was meditating all the time, and I literally grew so much that summer. It was crazy. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting, is like, there's some stuff that's going to come unearthed for you guys this month that's going to really propel you and align you for some major expansion, especially during the summertime. So it's almost like we're getting our bags packed, and I am sensing a move for some of you, to be honest, as well. That might be coming up later. And this seems more like it's funny I said getting your bags packed, because with the move, it's like I'm seeing some of you guys might be researching where you're going to move, or you might be like finding out the logistics. I just feel like you guys are going to be going through a major shift soon. And right now, it seems like the situation you're in, honestly, you guys, not all of you are empowered to be in your full power with the Emperor reversed. Some of you guys might be in a situation where you're just not feeling your highest, most vibrant expression of yourself. And I feel like that's going to change. And we are going to kind of look at situations a little differently, and just be thinking a lot, be dreaming a lot, be manifesting a lot. And I do think it's going to pay off later. But this month, I feel like you're going to look back on it as like a major key month. Because I always think that it's not so much about the actual like launching of the project. This is the Capricorn Mars in me. I think it's all about the preparation. It's all about like, if you are like doing a slingshot, and people might focus on that moment when you release the actual slingshot and you let it go. But really it's about aiming it in the right direction, pulling it back the right amount so it's the right speed, getting kind of your grasp on how you have a tendency to like throw things. So how far you should aim it, at what angle, you know what I mean? All those things are going to be the factors that determine how that slingshot really releases. It may not be the most exciting moment, but that alignment and that finding where you want to go is the most crucial part. And I see that happening this month. I feel like a lot of you guys might have already started feeling this with the eclipse energy that we just had, because I feel like you guys are really refining. Some of you are really getting a handle on exactly what it is you want. Whereas before you might have had some manifestations you were doing of like, I want love or I want money, but you didn't really have specific ideas of like, this is really going to be a path for me to get it, or I need to step into this. And I see you guys just pushing yourselves and gaining this knowledge of like, this is how I can make this happen. This is how I can get it done. And a lot of deep downloads happening in that sense. So let me get some cards. I'm going to shuffle, and then I have some pre-pulled cards as well. I've been feeling the urge to shuffle. Okay, so we got trust and we got family. Interesting. Maybe you guys will be getting downloads about family, about how our families affect us. But yeah, there's a lot of inner work happening. There's a lot of like inside stuff happening. Like I'm seeing you guys honestly releasing some trauma, some stuff that may have stayed with you that you didn't even realize was attached to you. And you're like, oh, it's time to fully let this go. Like I didn't know I still cared. I didn't know I still felt pain around this person, but I'm really releasing it. I'm letting go of it. I'm not feeling it anymore. And I see you guys as being very trustworthy by the end of this month about where spirit is leading you. It's like, this is more of like a listening month. I almost feel like you're not setting off on the direction. Another example of that metaphor I was giving is like, it's not about anyone who's like been on a hike, an intense hike or camped or anything like that will know that it's not about what you do on the actual hike or on the camping trip. It's about how you pack for it. It's about those boring moments beforehand where you're like, okay, I have the bug spray. Okay, I have the sunscreen. Okay, I have 3 jugs of water. Okay, let me get an extra one just in case. And I've got my granola bars. Like you can't just run out into wherever you're camping and just throw caution to the wind. And that's how people get in trouble. You have to think about these things. You have to like take stock of like what you have, what you need, and start making those plans. And that's what I see you guys doing this month is like, this is the month of really getting things drilled down into like the brass tacks of what you want. Again, some of you guys are refining your manifestations. You have a rough idea of what you want, but you don't know the specifics or how it's going to happen. And I see spirit bringing those to you this month, bringing that awareness this month of like, okay, so I need to do it like this. So I think you guys should be keeping your eyes open this month and trying to listen to what spirit has to say. This is a major key spiritual time. Okay, we got beauty. New beginnings. Yeah, I'm telling you, some of you guys are going to have a move or something big. I can hear some of you guys being like, no, I'm not. Like, I know some of you guys are going to be like, no way. Or like, I just moved or something like that. But it's like, no. Some of you guys in this pile are going to have a big change. Definitely. And I feel like it's more in alignment with what you want. And what I'm getting is some of you guys, you have an idea of what it is you want. But a lot of times what actually can hold that up is like spirit will show us like, okay, so this is what you should do to get it. And then there's all these hangups with like, I don't want to have to do that. Or like, I don't want to say that. Or I don't want to put myself out there in that way. Or I don't want to like risk this. You know what I mean? Like that's scary. No, I'm not going to do that. And so sometimes it's just a matter of things stagnating enough to the point where we're like, you know what? I have to do this. I have to take this risk. It's too boring or it's too stagnant or it's just not working the way it is. So I'm going to push myself. You guys, spirit wants to acknowledge you guys are looking good this month. If you guys are insecure about how you look for whatever reason, I mean, Lord knows there's all these people who have, all these different kinds of insecurities that are so crazy and like not even based in reality at all about like, weight or looks or whatever. You'll see someone who's stunningly beautiful be like, I can't, my nose looks horrible, or I have a zit, or I gained 5 pounds. And it's like, are you kidding? You just want to tell them like, look in the mirror, you're gorgeous. And I feel like that's what your guides want you to know right now is like, you guys really need to stop playing around in your head with like, I don't look good. I don't like how I look. You look amazing. And like, you need to enjoy this time in your life. Some of you guys need to know that with the Three of Cups coming out with beauty. Some of you guys need to use this opportunity, like you're hiding away from something or you're hiding away from the world in hermit mode. And that's okay once in a while, especially when we're getting spiritual divine downloads. But if we're hiding away because we're insecure or because we're like, I'm not ready, I don't want to be seen, it's like you're never going to fully feel ready. You're always going to have something that you kind of are like insecure about, you know, just the nature of being human. So you've just got to sometimes just go for it. And just, I feel like you guys are going to look back at this time and how you look now, and you're going to be like, I was freaking bomb. I looked amazing. I looked incredible. Like, can I go back to that? Wow, that was a highlight for me. And you're going to be like so irritated at yourself now for ever doubting or ever hiding yourself away or not putting yourselves out there. You need to have that confirmation that you're stunning and you're glowed up and you're looking good. And especially this month, I just feel like some of you guys might be doing a different diet or fitness routine as well. But whatever it is, you guys need to know that you look really good. So we got breaking trail, a breakthrough is at hand, faraway places, get ready for new horizons, solitude in silence, peace prevails. So I do see you guys having a combination with the Three of Cups and then the Hermit as like, I feel like some of you guys, you're not as reliant on other people's opinions, and that's a good thing. You're really staying rooted in what you want, what you know for yourself, and maybe you're okay with spending a little more time alone, or if you have been doing that, it's like, it just reaches a place where you're like, I'm really good at this. Like, I really don't mind. And once in a while, it is important for us to like bathe in the energy of others. That sounds really creepy, actually, the way I said that, but you know what I mean? Like, like vibe with everyone and get that human interaction and contact, and make sure that we're spending quality time with friends or we're enjoying the world. Like, that's important for us. We do glow up that way, but also sometimes you do need to go into hermit mode. And I see you guys kind of going back and forth this month between spending times with people and friends, and then really kind of retreating fully into yourself, like kind of like this back and forth of like, mostly you're spending time. Oh, it's starting to rain. I don't know if you guys can hear that, but I love when it rains during my readings. Favorite way to read. But mostly you guys spending time alone getting these downloads, but then you also might like go out, you know, once a week to see your friends, and you kind of get that little hit that way of like enjoyment and fun with them. And they're saying like, do that, because some of you guys, you've been working so hard spiritually that you haven't been being like as much of a human. And they're like, just trust in the unfoldment of this, and anything that we can do to get ourselves into a high vibe place, like feeling good, feeling happy. Like sometimes we just need to fast forward to like, we're so focused on like working hard that we're actually blocking the manifestation, because we're always keeping ourselves in an energy of working hard, when in reality, if we kind of relax into an energy of like, I feel amazing, I'm going to go out with my friends, I'm going to have fun, and kind of like how we would act if we had that manifestation, then that is so key to us achieving whatever that is. So I see you guys kind of spending a little more focus on like, how can I spend time with others? How can I enjoy a little bit? But the main thing that's coming through, but I will say a lot of you guys are going to be spending a lot of time alone with the Hermit in solitude. And the main thing that I'm thinking is gearing up is some kind of a move. I see you guys this month accepting that something in your life just isn't working. It's almost like some of you guys have been trying to put a happy face on and pretend everything is really cool with a certain situation, pretend that like you're happy about something or that it's all going to work out. And now you're kind of like, it's time for me to admit that this ain't working, and on to the next. And I see that really, really, really like seeping down into your pores and into your bones this month, where you're not denying it anymore. You're being very honest with yourselves. And I do feel like you should know that that's a really positive thing. And like that moment when we recalibrate is really positive. So this month, I see it as a lot of downloads happening this month, a lot of growth. And I see it really picking up activity and action like in the summer, to be honest. So it's kind of like this month we're calibrating everything, we're aligning it, we're getting it ready, and then this breakthrough is going to happen. And I see it happening kind of rapidly. Like I feel like it's one of those things where once things start rolling, it's going to be quick. So you might want to like I said, this is the month to get everything in gear and get everything organized so that when it does happen, it'll be smooth sailing. So we also got, actually, I'm being told to shuffle, I think, from this deck. Okay. Okay. Okay, let me see what message we have for pile one. Messages do we have for pile one? So we got 12. Your true tribe can't show up until you do. Okay. 44, come together, we need each other. So this is what the message is, I guess, with this back and forth Hermit energy and then Three of Cups energy, is that I feel like Spirit does want you to focus on spending time socializing and stuff like that, and to acknowledge how much we do need the energy of others, because some of you guys really have been keeping yourselves in hermit mode. However, I also feel like you guys, it's almost like some of the people you're around are not in alignment with you and you're trying to make it work, but it's just not working. And maybe this is where a move or like some kind of a change is going to help you get you into better alignment. Or I don't know. Yeah, I really feel like it might be a physical move for a lot of you guys. But it's kind of like, in order for you to really attract the right kind of people that will be in alignment with you and fulfill that side of you and give you your social needs and everything, I feel like you guys are going to have to also show up more and be more outgoing and talk to people more, because some of you guys have been a little too much in hermit mode. And it's okay to be in hermit mode and it's okay to spend time alone and get those downloads, but we're put on this planet to be human. We're put on this planet to work collectively, right? So that also is going to bring us so much happiness and satisfaction. Oh, there's lightning. Oh my gosh. So a lot of people, might be depressed even or in a lot of pain and they don't know why. And it's like they're spending all this time alone, and maybe they're also eating unhealthy foods, or, they're not working out, and all these things we can kind of fix and we can address. So if you guys are doing any of those things, and there's other things as well that of course we should do for our health, but sometimes we can overlook the value of like community and the value of friendship and the value of talking to someone on the phone and all of that. So I feel like this is like a message to you guys to like send that text, like meet up with someone, like carve that time out of your day. Go ahead and push yourself a little bit on this. What other messages do you want pile one to get for the month of June? That one like flew out. Okay, this is 40 and it says, what is has no bearing on what will be. What does your ideal life look and feel like? Yes. And the universe rewards emotion. What guided action can you take today? So I feel like a lot of you guys, I think this is all about you planning what it is you want. You are the image maker. What you focus on manifests. This is all about you guys getting really clear. And maybe you have even been confused, like, I think I want this kind of a thing. I think I would love to have this kind of a life or this kind of financial situation, but you're really unclear on exactly what that looks like for you, or exactly the energy and the vibration you need to be in. And I feel like you're going to refine all those things. And I feel like you guys are my spiritual pile. So maybe you're listening to like spiritual wisdom books or, reading stuff. But I just feel like there's powerful, like, I see vision boards being made this month and journaling happening. And I feel like the stuff that you write down into your journal at this time is going to be so potent, which makes sense because it was the eclipse. And that is a really potent time when the energy is super open. So yeah, I just think this month, it's like we're not at necessarily the action stage yet, but we're starting to really put that together. And it almost might be something where like you start making the small steps now. Like you're like, I really want to become more active, but I'm insecure about how I look. So I'm going to go to the gym every day. You know what I mean? So I can be in a place where I feel comfortable getting dressed up in like a little mini dress and hitting the town with my friends. Because right now I always turn them down because I I'm insecure about how I look or something like that, or I want to have more financial abundance. So I'm going to make a side hustle business and I'm going to work for it for 10 minutes every day. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is like the small steps happening this month that is going to lead to a really big payoff and blow up and glow up. So we also got the farther gate, bold step forward, beloved, radical acceptance, fool's embrace, transmuting pain, and falling angel, spiritual narcolepsy. So yeah, I feel like you guys, this is almost like a month where you guys might be sleeping a lot, getting really deep downloads in your sleep and in your dreams. And don't mistake it for like nothing's happening this month, because I do feel like you are taking these steps forward. But I think Spirit is also saying, like, push yourself a little bit. If there is something that happens that's outside of your comfort zone, that you're like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. That's generally a good sign that you're on the right path, that you're doing the right thing. And so I think this month you guys should be focused on really doing things that are going to align you with the exact destiny you want, not settling anymore for half things. Because I kind of see this pile as having done that in the past, that you guys maybe would like compromise. Like, if someone asked you to hang out but you didn't really like them, you'd be like, okay, I'll go. Or, if someone asked you to help them with a project but you were really tired, you'd still be like, yeah, I have time, I can help you. And now it's like you're getting really clear on your own boundaries, on what you guys want, on what you guys need to do. And I think that it's almost like accepting that you can't be everything to everyone and that time is limited. There's a little bit of pain coming in this month, but it's like the good pain. It's like the downloads of like, wow, this is like the spiritual wisdom that I really needed to take me out of this stagnant energy. Because I see this as like it says gateway, and I feel like this is a gateway month where you guys are really glowing up on the inside about what you need to do and gaining that clarity. So let me get some cards from this deck. What is going to happen for pile 1 during the month of June? Contract, okay. Woman holding a coin, reversed. Second chakra, Archangel Ariel. Yin Yang, and the thinking man. So I do see you guys doing a lot of thinking this month. And then we got man holding a coin upright and woman holding a coin reversed. That's interesting. Walking away. I just think it's a complicated energy coming through. There's something that you guys are really leaving in the past. It's almost like you've tried to leave it in the past, but you're really done at this point. Something, I feel this would be something that's been very stagnant for a really long time. Something that you've been hoping would change. Maybe you told the world like, no, I'm done with it. But deep down inside, you were like, I really hope they call me, or I really hope they text me, or I really hope this changes. And now you're like, I'm leaving it in the past. And I don't know what that noise is. I think it's a lot of thunder, but it's really like long and prolonged. Anyway, so I just feel like you guys are going to truly get in your mind what you deserve, what you want in things, and you're going to not be tolerating anything less than the best. And you're going to get very clear on kind of setting the bullseye on like, I need to go there, and these are the steps I need to take to get there. And if the money hasn't come in yet, that can be your sign that you're not in alignment yet. And that's okay, because we can get in alignment anytime, right? We can realign ourselves. We can find the way to access whatever that is that we want. So yeah, some of you guys, you might have been running away from destiny moments. You might have been running away from like a soul contract that you were supposed to carry out. There may be some fear issues for you with that second chakra coming up. You guys might have some insecurities and fears inside your body and, lack of safety. And I see you guys working through a lot of this and leaving this month being so much bolder, so much stronger, so much more powerful. Really can't say enough. I know some of you guys might be like, this is a horrible month forecast. It sounds awful. But I truly think you're doing so much growth. Like, these are the kind of months of growth that I consider like as good as like winning the lottery. Because I look back on that summer when I did the most downloads. I was spending a lot of time in the desert and I was meditating almost every day under the Joshua trees and stuff. And I did so much soul work. I did so much growth. It was so incredible for me. And I look back on that summer, and even though it may not have looked from the outside like this happened and that happened and blah, 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 and someone else might have looked like they were having a way more interesting summer, to me, that summer was like the most notable. And I actually saw a psychic a little bit later, and she told me that I had graduated that summer. And I was like, what do you mean graduated? And she was like, well, you graduated on the soul level. This was like a huge step forward for you. You leveled up soul wise that summer. And she brought it up. She brought up like the dates and stuff. And I was like really shocked. But now I know what she's talking about. And I feel like that's kind of what's happening this month, even though, like I said, it may not seem like, oh, this is so beautiful, but it really is, because this is knowledge and information I feel you guys are going to need with these upcoming months, which I think are going to be a lot busier for you. And this is really aligning you in such a powerful way. So I think that's pretty much what I have for you guys. So let me know if it resonated. Pile one. I always love hearing from you guys. So let me know in the comments what you think. And if you want to give this video a big thumbs up as well, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed, turn on notifications. And if you want to check out my Patreon, the link is in my bio for that. And my last video that I posted is all about how to achieve your manifestations, what to tweak and change and to get there faster. So it would actually be a great reading for a lot of you guys. So definitely check that out if you want. It's in my bio, the link for that. And I have other readings over there as well. So click the link in my bio to my Patreon. And yeah, I think that's about it. I'm sending you guys so much love and light. Have an amazing day, guys, and take care. Bye. Hey, pile two. So for your pick a card, you guys got New Beginnings. And for your tarot, you got the Three of Wands, the Hierophant, the Lovers, Two of Cups, Knight of Pentacles, the Hanged Man, Wheel of Fortune, and the Five of Swords reversed. So with New Beginnings and the Three of Wands leading the reading, you guys might be moving or just having a very fresh start coming in very soon. It feels like this is a really exciting time, to be honest. And I feel like this is a positive month in your life. Like it feels like things are just going well this month for you guys. And with the Lovers and the Two of Cups coming out next to each other, you very well might be meeting a romantic partner or deepening a love relationship you're already in. So it could be that if you're single, this would be a great month for you to go out and meet people and find a partner. And if you are in a relationship, that's going to be very much deepened and the connection is going to get even better. But with the Wheel of Fortune coming out, I can see that this is a lucky month for you guys where things just seem to be going well. We also have the Knight of Pentacles, so it seems like the money situation is going well too. You guys are pursuing money. You are on that track of like going after something you're into, and be aware also of any new opportunities that might come up this month regarding that, with the Hanged Man coming out next. Maybe there's a different way you could do things with your money that might be allowing it to come in a lot faster, or some way for you to save money. I'm actually seeing coupons in my mind. So I don't know if some of you guys will start couponing or something like that, but there's almost like this thinking about like, how can I save money, or how can I spend my money better, or how could I have another source of income? So pay attention to all that guidance that might come in this month. But for a lot of you guys, you might be thinking about making a move. And for some of you guys, I'm getting that move might come in fairly soon, or you might have moved recently, but it's almost like I'm seeing the move maybe happening before summer, or happening quick. Like there's a new change, I feel, that is going to come in sooner rather than later, probably during this month. So yeah, I also feel like with the Five of Swords reverse, there's a message here not to get engaged in like pointless fighting or a stupid argument or anything that you can't win, being very intentional about how we spend our time and our energy. And also a message here that I think making sure you pay attention to what you're consuming, what kind of a thing you're taking in. Of course, we can all be tempted to end up, reading kind of like what's going on in the news, and even like stuff that isn't that helpful to know, but we get caught up in like the news cycle or reading about drama or whatever. And it's like, a message to you that your energy is precious and to be careful about how you spend it. This is a very fertile time for you in your life. And by that, I mean like you can make whatever you want happen during this time. So don't waste it by, ending up like reading about drama between like two Twitch streamers that doesn't affect your life at all. You know what I mean? And getting all agitated about it. I think sometimes, like, of course, it's important to stay informed, but also sometimes when we're trying to manifest, when we're trying to bring something important in, we've got to make sure our vibration is raised, that we're in a positive mindset, that we're not in fear. And so with the Five of Swords coming out like that, I feel like this is saying like you guys have so much positive energy around you guys this month. So make sure you maintain that and don't allow other things, other forces to come and take it away. Because the Five of Swords is also, when it comes out reversed like that and everything, can be a sign of loss, of like, things aren't going to go so well. And that, kind of there's an inevitable defeat from getting caught up in this conflict. So sometimes it's really important to like pick and choose our battles and let God handle the rest, and trust that God does have karma and karma is real. And so sometimes that means like when someone says something rude, laughing and being like, bye, like I don't care. That's actually a power move, is to be like, someone says something rude and just being like LOL and not saying anything. Because that's not letting their negative energy penetrate your happiness and your joy, and just letting it brush off you. You know what I mean? So I feel like Spirit is saying like, enjoy this time. I feel like you guys have worked for this month. So don't be letting someone take it away with their nastiness or jealousy. Let's get some more cards. What's happening for pile 2 during the month of June? What's happening for pile 2 during the month of June, Spirit? So we got protection. Yep, that's kind of what I was saying, is like protect your energy right now. Career. Animals, okay. Travel. And empowerment. I could definitely see you guys travel. With the Three of Wands, that can talk about travel as well. It definitely could be like a time of traveling for fun. But I also feel like some of you guys might be making a move, or like doing something different for the summer, like changing things up. And it just feels really exciting, to be honest. Like I'm excited for you guys. I could see some of you guys just having a really fun summer. I'm hearing like hot girl summer. So it just seems like you guys will have things on point. Like it's a lot of joy coming through, a lot of happiness, a lot of excitement. It feels like you guys I'm hearing, you can't tell me nothing in my mind. So maybe you're just like, you can't tell me what to do. I am going to do me. I'm having so much fun. And maybe there's like love relationships happening. It could be like short term or long term, but there's a lot of potential for so much joy this summer. And I do feel like, especially for June for you guys, you're working on your career, you're getting your money, you're kind of like, I feel like this is my group that probably you're going to be doing your self-care, you're going to be looking after yourself, you're going to be working out, you're going to be glowing up. And Spirit is saying like, keep on that tip. You might have people, sometimes when someone starts glowing up and starts doing those things that allow us to be in a better high vibration, like working out every day, or eating really healthy, like organic foods that are good and nourish your body, and give you that positive energy. Because we do consume the energy of the food we eat. So when we eat really processed stuff, the energy is maybe not so great. The energy of a pure, fresh orange that just got picked from a tree and has been grown in pure sunlight for the past few months is amazing. So we're literally consuming that life force. So maybe some of you guys will be making healthier choices, or doing different things, or just feeling really good, dancing around, that kind of a thing. And when they see someone start to glow up, a lot of people can have a nasty, jealous reaction. And maybe this is a warning about like, just stay empowered, stay focused on you. And if the haters do come out, take it as a compliment, because it is. I know it's hard to take it that way. And I keep seeing this being pointed out to me. So you might get some protective jewelry, evil eye or the Hamsa. It might be a good idea for you guys to invest in something like these, just to have to wear, or some black tourmaline or some obsidian to wear around your neck to protect you, because I do feel like you guys will be looking really good. And here's another like little crystal you can just tuck under your clothes. But some of you guys might be glowed up so much this month that you might need a little protectiveness. And Spirit is saying, don't let them engage you, because I almost feel like they would try to draw you into problems because your life is going so amazingly well that they might try to get jealous and try to bring you down by like getting in an argument about something petty. And Spirit's saying, just avoid, just swerve out of the way, just don't even engage. You know what I mean? Don't try to reason with them, because it's just stay doing you. You guys are not doing anything bad by looking after yourself and being the highest version of yourself. So we got Mystic Healer, healing energy flows through you. Miracles, expect the wondrous to emerge. Begin now, take your first step. And Distant Thunder, clear the air. So this is a card that can talk about fighting or arguing. So something to be aware of is that that might be the negative energy that's floating around you this month. But for a lot of you guys, I think this is going to be a really fun month, to be honest. I could see you guys going out more this month, or socializing more, or that if you do go out, you will have more romantic opportunities. You might be looking good. You might just be, in an outgoing, flirty mood and like coming up to random people and chatting. And, it's like, everyone's like, oh, who's this girl? She's really fun. It just seems like positive right now. It just feels like there's a happy vibe around you guys. With the Hierophant and Mystic Healer, maybe you guys are doing some spiritual work. Maybe you guys have been reading a lot of spirituality or glowing up in that sense. But I feel like a lot of your manifestations are going to be paying off this month, and you guys are on the right track. I am seeing someone working out in the gym. So maybe you guys get into some kind of a regimen in that way. That just keeps coming up in my mind. And so again, I just feel like I just heard there's nothing holding me back. So it's like, don't let anyone hold you back. I think sometimes people get anxiety about things like going to the gym or, eating healthy. That can be daunting. Or anytime you start something brand new, there's always that fear that, you don't really know what you're doing and you kind of feel stupid. You're like, I look like an idiot. I don't know how this machine works at the gym. But chances are probably no one will notice. And if they do, like you might not even ever see them again. And if they do, if anything, that would probably be like, oh, that's cute. Like she totally did that machine wrong and she's probably new and like good for her for working out. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you feel called to make any new steps, like do that, because I really feel like some of you guys are going to have your serotonin really high, your endorphins really high this month. And a lot of that is due to positive lifestyle changes you guys are making. So if any of those things come up this month, maybe you haven't done it yet, but suddenly you get an urge to go for a walk or go for a jog, like definitely I think you should take it. So let me pull from this deck for you guys. What messages, what's happening for pile 2 in the month of June? Nothing real can be threatened. Love that line. I always think of All Night by Beyonce, one of my favorite songs. It's all in divine order. Allow. So these people that might be trying to take things away from you might be jealous. You should just know that you are totally divinely protected, and also that maybe some of them are judgmental because they had a different path, and maybe they were afraid to achieve their dreams. And sometimes I think when people live in fear like that, then they have a lot of regrets. And then they can kind of take that anger out on people who do choose to go after their dreams, like the daughter they had that decides that they don't want to work a corporate job, but they want to open their own knitting business, if there is such a thing as a knitting business, but I don't know, like some kind of homemade goods or something that they love and it's their dream, but their parents are like, no, you're supposed to be a lawyer. Like, you're supposed to follow in my footsteps. And there's this resentment because this person is breaking free of the matrix and choosing their own path. And I feel like there's a message here that you shouldn't even blame these people if they are judgmental of you. You shouldn't even be mad at them. You should take, if anything, like I said, take it as a compliment and also have a little sympathy for them. Not saying you their behavior is okay if they're acting like a hater, but understand that that comes from their own pain, and you're on such a beautiful track and they wish they could be there, and it's your job to be a leader in this department and to really see through and stick to your own vision. Sometimes we just need to see one person doing something different, one person marching to the beat of their own drum and really going outside the norm that makes us realize that we can do the same. Because so much of the time we don't, like, people can go their whole lives and never really actually see that, and have this idea that, like, oh, like, someone who's an iconoclast and does things their own way, they only exist in, like, the media. They all live in this kind of a place, or they all probably look like this, or they all do, you know what I mean? No one like me, no one in my group could ever do that. We all do this. We all do it this way. But the reality is that at any moment, any of us can choose to make our own path, to live up to our unique destiny that God gave each of us, and to live to our truth. So it's like, I feel you guys are going to be divinely protected on this path. And so if the haters, and even family members sometimes can be haters, if they don't get it, then they're not supposed to get it. Like this saying of the Washington Post was, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And so I love that saying. And it's like, it's true. If you're not supposed to get it, you can't anyway. That's the thing, is like, imagine, it's kind of like we get a call to God, and God is telling us what we should do with our lives. And when we're in tune with spirit, then we listen to that. And maybe someone else, like, they don't have access to the phone line. Have you ever tried to listen to a friend while they're having a phone call? And like, you're trying to listen in, maybe they're in a fight with their boyfriend or something, and the boyfriend calls and you're like, oh, I want to hear what they're saying. And you try to, like, listen, but you can't hear anything. You can hear maybe a couple words if, like, the other person's really mad and shouting, but you can't hear much. Like, you don't know what's going on in that conversation, And so by the same token, like, even the people around us who might love us, they can't hear what God is telling us. They can't know what God has put in our soul, what our unique special gift is that only we can live up to. And so sometimes, it can be scary to be that first person to do it, but I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be on this really incredible path this month, and you're doing well, you're looking good. And if people don't get it, then that they can focus on their journey. But I feel like you guys are supposed to really take those steps this month towards your new path and towards whatever makes you feel in your highest, best vibration. That can be your compass of, like, I'm on the right path, is when you feel so good, you feel so confident, you feel so happy. That's a great way to know that you are in alignment. So we also got, because also, like, happiness or joy in the moment can be fleeting, right? Like, you can eat, like, some cookies, and in that moment you're feeling really happy, but then maybe even 30 minutes later you get a sugar crash and you're not feeling so good, or you're just like, going about your day and you're like, oh, that was over. Those cookies were good. But anyway, that kind of a thing is fleeting. But the joy we get from knowing that we're on our path, knowing that we're aligned, knowing that we're doing what God has put in our heart, and living up to the destiny that our soul set for us before we entered this planet, that gives such a happiness and a feeling of joy that's like nothing else. And so I feel like you guys will be having that this month, and that can be your indication that, like, yes, we're going the right way. So we got overflow, overwhelm, and plenty. The farther gate, bold step forward. Empty well, time to replenish, and that's reversed. And horseman, herald of change. So you guys might really be thinking about making changes. And I'm getting a message for some of you guys that, you might already be on the right path. Maybe you don't have to make that many changes. Maybe you're happy right where you are. And it's sometimes we focus so much on the big things that we miss the beauty of the little things, the beauty of, like, I always find when I work out, to be honest, I'm always in such a better mood, and I'm always like, the world is beautiful. And then a few days will pass if I don't work out for a few days, I'm like, everything is cold and gray and everything looks bad. Although I actually love cold and gray days, so that would be awesome. We don't get a lot of them where I live, but I'd be happy if we got a few. I'd be like dancing around with joy. But the thing is those little activities we do that sometimes we're not even happy about, like going down to the gym. Like when you start on your run, you're like, oh, I don't want to do this. And you kind of have to work through that 10-20 minutes where you're like, can I just stop? Can I just go back to my apartment and like eat a brownie or something, or order Postmates or whatever, or just do anything other than be working out on this treadmill? But then, of course, after the run ends or whatever, or once you start having those endorphins hit, you feel so much better. And there's such a beauty in those tiny little moments, in those tiny little decisions that I am going to go to the gym and stick it out. Or I'm going to make myself something really healthy for breakfast. I'm not going to go right to the brownie. I'm going to make myself an acai bowl, or I'm going to make myself some really healthy eggs and some avocado or whatever you want to eat, but getting stuff that really nourishes us and makes us feel amazing. And those tiny little decisions that may seem inconsequential, they make life so special. And so I feel like it's like kind of a message to you guys that it's okay to focus on the little stuff this month. It's okay to focus on the tiny little moments of joy, like with these lovers and Two of Cups cards. I could see for some of you guys, maybe it's cuddling with your partner, or that moments or that initial moment when you're like falling in love with someone or just dating them, when you get like really nervous right before they kiss you, or you're like, oh my gosh, we held hands for the first time, and you get all excited about the tiny little stuff. But it's those tiny little moments that make life so amazing. It's that waking up early to see the sunset, or smelling the way, oh my gosh, I love the smell of like this time of year in most of the country where there's really intense seasons, like the East Coast, the Midwest. Oh my God, like the smell this time of year is just so incredible. It's just so green and petrichor and just amazing. So that smell of like earth and right after it rains and the green blooming, like that, those tiny little things are what makes life special. So I feel like this month is a good month for you guys, and make sure you're enjoying that and taking it all in. So let me get some of these other cards as well. So we got caring connections, and that's definitely like, that's a theme for, I don't know, someone meeting their soulmate this month, or just dating, or I don't know, getting engaged. There's something going on with some of you guys with your relationships this month, like really great relationship energy for you guys. So we got door to personal healing and happiness, 5th chakra, Archangel Gabriel, goddess of the moon. What else is happening for pile 2 this month of June, Spirit? What's happening for pile 2 in June? Door to value. Oh my gosh. I just feel like you guys have such a happy, positive vibe. I literally feel it so activated in my heart chakra. And then we got 4th chakra, Archangel Raphael. I feel like my heart chakra is about to burst, but not in a bad way, scary way, in a good way, a positive way. Like you just feel like this is a beautiful month for you guys of so much joy. And there's no better time for that, right, than I think like Taurus season, and then of course, well, we're heading into Gemini season. But I think for a lot of you guys, like this time of year, this early summer, isn't it just the best? Like everyone loves this time. All the kids get out from school, and if you're an empath and you feel the collective energy, you can feel their joy. I just feel like it's like, this is such a perfect time, and it feels like you guys are gonna have an amazing summer. It feels like you guys are joyful, overwhelmed, happy. There's like just goodness flowing, and it's a time for you to be open and not hold it against the people that can't understand, the people that might hate on you. I look back on the people that hated on me, and I think a lot of times it's like, those were not to say those were my biggest blessings, because they weren't, and certainly those people don't deserve any like credit, and I won't give them any, but I'm not that kind of a healer. But I look back and I think they maybe, like, if you can take that and transmute it into goodness, and you can take the hate and take it as a compliment and let it strengthen you and let it make you more resolved and let it make you be like, you know what, I am going to do it. You know what I mean? That's the kind of thing that's actually a positive. And sometimes they're hating on you because they see some potential in you more clearly than even your supporters or your friends, right? The people that are hating on you so intensely, it's because they see a potential that maybe like your friends are kind of blind to because they're used to you. But they see how strong you can be. Just like, you know, if you were like a general in a war and you saw a tiny little invading army that looked so small and you were like, oh, there's like 10 people, they're really incompetent, we can like knock them out in a day, you wouldn't be pressed about it. But if you saw this incredibly powerful warrior with like a huge army behind him, you'd be freaking nervous and you'd be trying everything to get them down. So when people come to you with this like anger and this craziness and this trying to hold you back, as hard as it is in that moment, you should be like, thank you so much for that compliment. Thank you so much that you are acknowledging my own power and my potential, because now I really know it's true. And take it as that confirmation every time it happens. Take that nastiness and take it as like confirmation. Check. Got more confirmation. That person was really extra mean to me in the grocery store for no reason. Confirmation. You know what I mean? I know it's hard sometimes, but like people do, they can sense that energy of potential or success or power or spiritual power. And I feel like you guys have a lot of this in this pile and you guys are on this positive track. So yeah, you might be attracting some haters this month, but the protection around you guys is crazy. We got 2 angels here. We got some moon energy. We got a lot of protection cards. So don't even worry about it. Like I said, take it as a big old compliment. And this month, I think it's going to be a lot of fun for you. I think you guys are continuing to build and enjoy these small, fun, beautiful moments, because this is like, I feel like a highlight month for you guys. This is a beautiful, beautiful month. So I really hope that resonated, pile 2. Let me know if it did in the comments. I love hearing from you guys. So let me know. Also make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up, hit that like button, and make sure you're subscribed with notifications on so you can find out as soon as I post. And also check out my Patreon. The link to that is in my bio. We have a lot of great readings, and the last one we did is all about what you should do or change to reach your manifestations and achieve your dreams. So it's a great one for everyone, a lot of information in there, and we have a lot of extra readings as well, fun ones, lighthearted ones, and all across the spectrum of readings. So definitely check out that link in my bio to my Patreon. And I think that's about it. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day and take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hey, pile 3. So for your pick a card, you guys got abundance and power. And for your tarot, you got judgment, 6 of swords, king of swords reversed, page of swords, 5 of cups, 5 of pentacles reversed, 2 of pentacles, and the 5 of swords. So I feel like some of you guys are kind of dealing with some difficulty as we enter into the month of June. And for some of you, this may revolve around this king of swords reversed figure, possibly a difficult male, or it could be a woman with a very masculine energy. But this person might be kind of nitpicky, difficult, constantly feel like they are coming against you, or like they always have an issue. They're always kind of trying to find fault with you. They're always trying to find conflict. And I feel like you guys, if you are dealing with someone like that, this may be a message that you're going to learn how to handle this a lot better. For others of you with this king of swords reversed, it may be that you're not in your own power about being clear about your path and knowing what steps to take, and you're going to figure it out by the end of this month. But either way, I see both of these groups leaving this month of June with such a better perspective on how to handle this and really putting it out of your mind, learning how to deal with this conflict in a much more positive way, and kind of getting this guidance that a lot of the conflict and maybe the argumentativeness or difficulty or even like malice or contempt you feel directed towards you is a result of this amazing power and destiny you guys are exuding. So I feel like you guys are going to learn not to get caught up in these conflicts and really learn to kind of block it out. And that a lot of this is honestly motivated by jealousy. It's people who may be in 5 of Pentacles energy themselves, 5 of Swords. They might be perpetually kind of in a bad mood, or as my mom would call them, malcontents, which just means someone who's always upset, always in a bad mood. And she would just say, say that someone like, oh, they're a malcontent. They're such a malcontent. And I don't know if anyone else uses that as like a noun, but yeah, it's like someone that is just always in a bad mood, always has a problem, always upset, always saying something negative. And I think that the reality is that what's coming to my mind is a Bible verse. You will know them by their fruits. And that verse really means that you can tell kind of the quality of someone based on to a certain extent, the outcome of like their projects. You know what I mean? And I know that, of course, we all go through difficult times, and sometimes those can be growing periods. Sometimes God puts us in a difficult situation to bless us or to realign us or to strengthen us or to test us or whatever. However, I also think there's something to be said for you will know them by their fruits. And by that sense, I mean, if someone's always in a bad mood, if someone has a janked up, messed up life all the time, never gets better, never improving, it's been janked up for 25 years, it's going to continue to be janked up, everything they touch is janked up, everything's a problem, everything's a mess, they're always angry no matter what happens, they're always upset about like something or other, that might be a situation where it's time to judge them by their fruits. You know what I mean? And then on the other hand, I feel like I know people who are always in a good mood, always happy, always see the bright side, and like things will just seem to randomly work out for them. They just seem like they catch break after break after break, and like, wow, they're really lucky, or, you know, like, geez, things are really on their side. And I feel like you guys, if you are surrounded by type of malcontent type people, you're going to start to move yourself away and maybe present some distance and learn not to even be caught up in it or not to take it to heart. I think one of the most annoying things about these malcontent type of people is they can constantly create conflict and problems, and they always seem to have an attitude of like, you need to fix this, you need to deal with this, because most of the time, like, let's be honest, jealous people, they don't announce they're jealous by being like, hi, I'm really jealous because I think you're really pretty. Instead, they'll come through with like, I'm offended that you said this, or like, you know, they just will create problems and stuff. And so I think that it can be sometimes really compelling. Like if you listen to it, you're like, oh my gosh, like, did I say something wrong? Or like, oh my gosh, maybe they have a point. Maybe I did do that in a bad way, and like maybe I should fix this. And it can seem very legitimate, you know, but when you look at like the motivation, it's not about anything legitimate. A lot of times malcontent type of people that are perpetually causing problems for everyone, they just live in this energy of being annoyed and angry and upset. And that's what they want for everyone. They're angry that other people are positive. So this is what's coming up for you guys, is maybe you're dealing with people like this who are just giving you a lot of negativity, and you're just going to have to learn to like, I don't care. Cool. You're mad. Doesn't bother me. I'm focused on my lane. I'm focused on my blessings. And I mentioned before that I have someone close to me who is a Pisces Mars conjunct Pisces Mercury. And I really have learned so much from them in their psychic way, even though those aren't supposed to be great placements, but there's such a wise way that they tend to deal with conflict, whereas I'm a Mars in Capricorn and a very prominent Mercury, so I am definitely that person who's prone to like, if I'm annoyed, I would definitely, you know, be fine like going on a whole spiel towards someone. You know, I have a third house Aries, so I am totally cool with like going off and like just saying, you know, like I could write like a dissertation on it. But this person, they are known for like, if they get mad, they'll just be like, okay, deuces. And they just like won't say anything else, or they'll be like, nice hat. And they'll say something so small, and you can see that it actually makes a huge dent on whoever they're arguing with. And I'm always like, how do they do this? And of course, Pisces is psychic, so I think it's like psychically knowing just what to say. Because I'm like, why are they so triggered about their hat? Like, why did that even land? That's not even like a good insult. But you can see that like the person's like, oh my gosh. And I think part of that is just because Pisces tends to stay really calm, chill, relaxed. It's just the fish. It's just kind of chilling. So, you know, when it comes to Mars, whereas most people would usually get upset, a Pisces Mars can be like really relaxed, really chilled out. And in a way, that's a huge, like, that's why Pisces is a very spiritual psychic sign, because they know and understand the spiritual value of staying calm. And I just think the message coming through for you guys is that some people might be trying to draw you into conflict a lot in your life, try to get you upset, try to get you agitated. And this message is to stay in peace, to stay in your positivity, to stay focused on this, and not on this, and not on this, okay? And not on this. We're gonna stay over here about the abundance and the power and the positiveness, and not feel the need to respond to everything or to respond to everyone, and knowing that God will handle everything and that karma will handle everything. So that's the beauty and the wisdom. Like, again, I'm I have a very strong Mars, and so, I'm kind of ready. Like, I'm like, I will fight this person. I will verbally, not like physically, but you know what I mean? Like, I'm like, let's go. But I realize that the value is into just being like, I'm not even going to waste my time with you. Sorry. And like sometimes you will see someone say a comment like someone gets really mad and sends them a wall of text and someone says back like LOL. You know what I mean? And it really is the ultimate insult. And why? Because it's saying I'm calm and you cannot disrupt my peace. And that is the ultimate power move, is to be so aligned with your own peace, your own goodness, your own joy, that you can't just derail me from this. I'm going to stay positive. I'm going to stay me. I'm going to stay happy. And you don't even have a say in it. You don't even have a morsel of a drop of getting to influence me or take me off my path of joy and happiness. And so that's what's coming to my mind for a lot of you guys, is that you have these people that they do want to see you upset. They want to see you agitated. They want to see you annoyed. And I think it's great if you guys just don't let them. So I was gonna shuffle some other cards, but anyway, we'll just go with these pre-pulled cards. Okay, so we got cleansing waters, purification activates vibrant life force. Fellow travelers, support is all around you. Gates of triumph, success expands in your life, and stepping into power. You are strong beyond measure. Some of these people might be trying to keep you away from your power and make you not realize your own power. But you guys are so powerful. You're going to have success regardless, especially once you realize and learn how to master these horrible little deceitful people. And I feel like a big way to manage it is just by not even letting them get to you. Just laugh. Just literally being like, okay, you're mad. I don't care. You know what I mean? Of course, there are obviously people who make legitimate complaints in this world. I'm not talking about that. But, I'm talking about, as my mom would say, the malcontents, the people that always have something negative, always are in a bad mood, always are angry. It's like, that's on you, dude. That has nothing to do really with me. I just happen to be the unlucky person who wandered into your orbit today, and you're upset. What a surprise. As per usual, you're upset. You know what I mean? So I think for some of you guys, if you're around a manipulative person that wants to, sometimes this is, especially I'm getting with the King of Swords reverse, it could be like a male authority and power that is threatened by you and wants to like use that against you and is very manipulative. And I know it's so difficult dealing with those people. And I'm not trying to, I know how difficult it can be when you're in the moment of it, because it's very difficult and they're very like intelligent a lot of times and they know how to like manipulate things and what to say and blah, blah, blah. So I'm not trying to act like it's no big deal, but I feel like you should know that at the end of the day, your power is more strong than them and you will triumph and you will persevere. The best thing to do when you're dealing with someone like that, who really might be a narcissist or a really toxic person, is just to get the heck away as soon as you can. Formulate a plan if you need to. Learn to gray rock them. Learn to be, polite to them in the meantime. Like, yeah, everything's good. Well, what's going on with your boyfriend? Oh, nothing. Everything's the same. Everything's great. Don't tell them anything about your life because they'll turn it against you. But like slowly start making that plan just to leave. And in the meantime, especially taking cleansing baths is such a good idea because those people have toxic energy around them. So you definitely want to get in the practice of taking a spiritual bath. And I have a lot of thoughts about this, because there's so many people that get brought down by this kind of, it's like a disease. Like it's reminding me of that line, like jealousy is a disease, get well soon. You know what I mean? But it really is, in terms of that low vibrational energy of feeling horrible. And sometimes just being around someone like that will affect you. Even if you're high vibe, it's like you'll get sick and you'll start, literally, sometimes people will feel nauseous or just feel horrible, and they're like, I'm depressed. And I'm like, are you depressed, or are you around a complete piece of garbage whose energy field is so trashy and horrible and disgusting that you're literally absorbing it yourself? And if you took a few spiritual baths, you might be like, oh, I feel myself again. I feel amazing. And you just detox that nasty energy, because a lot of times they have dark energies and it's real. Even in my private readings, sometimes I felt nauseous after readings. I have to cleanse myself. It does happen. Luckily, not that often, because you guys who watch my channel are by and large freaking awesome. But once in a blue moon, like it'll happen or something like that. And The thing is, it's really important to make sure you're cleansing yourself. Florida water is great for that. Sage, you can sage yourself. You can also buy white sage sprays. This is one that I got online. And I have a bunch of these. I've made my own as well, but you can get them if you want to, if you just want to buy them online. There's so many different ways to cleanse yourself, and taking spiritual baths is a huge thing. Also, or I'll tell you guys how to do it really quick. You just fill the tub with water, you put in Epsom salt, and as you're doing it, say Psalm 23. And that's really a non-denominational psalm. So, I mean, I feel like most people could use that. So that one's like a cleansing, protective psalm, and you want to say that 3 times over the water as you're putting the salt in. And then you want to ask Archangel Michael to cleanse you with his white sword of light while you're in the water. And then envision any nasty energy leaving your body. And if you can feel it within your body and you're in tune with your body, you might be able to feel certain blockades. A lot of times in a situation like this with someone who's very toxic, you're going to feel it in your heart chakra, and you might have genuine afflictions, pain, things stuck to you in your heart chakra, and you can envision, kind of feel around for it and then try to pull it out of you or get it out of you. That's a great way to get this negative energy out. And I feel like you guys are going to learn to really step in your power, and that you don't need to deal with this type of stuff, and that nothing can hold you back from your destiny. So let's get more cards. So we got, it's all in divine order. Allow. So trust, like I said, trust that nothing is going to stop you. This can all work for your benefit. You get stronger through the pain, even though I know it's absolutely is horrible at the time. But you get stronger and stronger and stronger the more you deal with like the difficult stuff like this. So we got soul alignment. It's time for a radical change. You heal by releasing, not suppressing. Turn your worry into wonder, surrender to the experience, and the universe rewards motion. So for some of you guys, this might be about aligning yourself with the path you want to be on and really getting clear about what that is, and then making those changes. So if you're like, yeah, I am stuck with a really toxic person or a toxic workplace, but you're not sending your resume out. You know what I mean? You got to make sure you're sending your resume out. You got to make sure you're making those actual moves. You got to make sure you're pushing yourself, taking that action. And sometimes when we're dealing with really toxic people too, they can like get our head out of alignment. But it's like, instead of thinking like, oh my gosh, I'm stuck, or I can't believe I'm in this situation again, how can I bring myself out of this? Where do I want to end up, and how do I get there? It's kind of like if you were looking at a place on a map, like you were like, oh, I really want some froyo. Let me find a local froyo place. If you're like me and you just look up random like locations, like I'm like, oh, I think this is nearby, and I'll look it up on my Google Maps for some reason. But you wouldn't just sit there. If you really want to go there and you really want, say, frozen yogurt, you're not just going to sit in your room and just stare at the Google Maps. You're not. You're going to eventually get up and be like, okay, I got it. So I'm going to get in my car, and then I'm going to take that left. Or if you don't have a car, I'm going to walk. So I'm going to walk down this road, then I'm going to walk to another, or take the bus, or whatever you got to do, right? Depending. It might be a more comfortable ride depending on what level you're at that point. But you're going to have to figure out, eventually you're going to have to leave and take that step out into the world. You cannot just expect the froyo to come to you, right? You have to, or you can order from Postmates, but something's got to happen. You got to make some kind of move. So for some of you guys, this is about starting to push yourself to make those steps and to make those moves. And accepting that when something feels toxic, doesn't feel in alignment, feels like it's bad, then it's time to let it go and release it. And so if these situations are really negative, it's time to let it go. Just let it leave, and realign ourselves with what we do want. We got peace. Some of you guys, I feel, are really craving some peace. Spirit guide, you might need to know that your guides are with you so much, and that you're going to heal from this. That's another thing that's coming to my mind, is some of you guys might be upset because it's like someone has treated you so bad, and maybe you're like, I think I'm scarred from this. I'm scarred for life. And I was going to make a post on this. Like, I cut the heck out of my finger a little while ago, actually, after I filmed that tipsy reading on my Patreon. So if you haven't subscribed to my Patreon, you should, because I'm literally like, giving all this to you, where I literally cut my finger for you guys. I'm just kidding, but you can always subscribe. It's in my link in my bio. But anyway, I cut my finger really bad, and I was like, oh my gosh, because I like really don't drink that much that often. So I guess I was too tipsy and trying to cut up vegetables. And anyway, I was like, oh my gosh, it's really deep. This is gonna like leave a scar. You know, I usually don't freak out about like a little cut because I'm just kind of clumsy. So, you know, I do accidentally like cut my finger while I'm chopping vegetables once in a while. Not that commonly, but once in a while. And I was like, oh no, this one's gonna leave a mark. This is horrible. And I was literally amazed. A week later, it was completely healed, like not even a mark. And now I don't even know where it was. I'm looking at my fingers and I'm like, I really am not sure. And that's the thing about life is like, even those cuts, those issues that we think like, oh, this is really bad. This is really bad this time. Spirit has a way of healing you until you're brand new. So I feel like the message you guys need to get for June is just that you're going to be doing this healing work and you're going to be moving out of situations that keep you out of alignment, situations that are negative for you, situations where someone isn't treating you well or making you question yourself. It's okay to grieve, but then we've also got to make sure we just go ahead and leave it in the past. And yes, my fingers are completely healed now. I know I seem crazy because I'm always like injuring myself cooking, but anyway. Okay, Will-o'-the-Wisp, treasure hidden in the shadows, first breath, beginner's mind, sky bridge, possibility for union, and spirit of the river, movement towards adventure, and that's reverse. So maybe there's some fear on your part about not being sure where you're headed, not, you know, being nervous about this. And I feel like your guides really want you to be bold and not to be afraid. And your guides really want you to accept that you have this endless potential and this endless power to do whatever it is you want, and to accept that like sometimes the bad things happen, but it always moves into good. Like if I had literally stayed obsessed with the fact that I cut my finger, you know, and just been like letting that like go into some deep worry and like freaking out and being like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get infected, when in reality it was like no big deal and it just healed, and it wasn't even a blip. Like it was so small. But in the moment when it's happening, I think we have this tendency to like really worry and get really nervous and get really stressed out about it. And sometimes when we have these emotional wounds, we don't get to see it like healing day by day. We don't get to see like, oh, it looks really better. Oh, it's feeling really good. Oh, cool. So that one looks, yeah, it's been a couple of days, but like I can see the skin coming back and yeah, it's great. We don't get to see that, but it's happening on the inside. So it's about trusting that everything that happens is for our greatest and highest good. And when we can take whatever is good out of a situation and move on to the next, and just learn that as soon as something doesn't feel in alignment, we avoid. So as soon as we have that conversation with a person and we just kind of feel invalidated and we just don't really feel like they understand us and we feel like there's a lot of negativity afterwards for whatever reason, that's it. Probably won't hang out with that person again. You know what I mean? And literally anything that doesn't feel good, once you stop doing it, that's a major key moment. Of course, there's always going to be those times when like we don't want to work out, but we work out anyway. That's a different feeling. What that feeling that you get inside of like, I really just, this person, I just don't really like them. And I just really feel bad whenever I talk to them. That like, that's so important to listen to. So we also got, let's get some more cards. The Temple Path. So this is a sacred month for you guys, a sacred moment, community. Fifth chakra, Archangel Gabriel, which is the throat chakra. So for some of you guys, this might involve speaking up and speaking your mind, and walking away. I really think some of you guys are going to be walking away from these situations and recognize that we have the potential to create whatever we want in like whatever timeline we want. So it's like you guys, even though you might be in a sad energy right now, you know, you can, as soon as you want to, you can just choose like, I'm going to believe this and I'm going to make something magical happen. And by the end of the summer, you could have a dream life manifested. As soon as we decide that we're not going to keep doing what is no longer working for us. Like if you had a pile of trash, you wouldn't just lug that trash around with you. You know, when you go to take the trash out of your trash can, you don't throw it over your shoulder and then just start walking around with it and just like get in your car, bring your bring your bag of trash with you, hit the shops while you're shopping and just lug this trash that's reeking and smelling behind you, right? We know it's trash, so we take it out to the trash can on the street and we just dump it there, or we take it to the garbage chute or wherever we live, whatever's going on, and we dump it. We know it's not for us. When you're a crazy person, like, I love the show Hoarding Buried Alive, because that shows like that I get so many metaphysical downloads from that show for some reason. But that's what happens when we just allow trash to stay around us. So there is a real metaphysical value in learning to let go when we know something is no longer serving. And I really feel like that's the message for you guys in June, is you're going to figure out and get really clear about this. It's like, I don't want this anymore. It's not in alignment with me. And know that as painful as sometimes those moments can be painful, but this is a sacred process. This is a sacred realization that you're going to be so grateful later that you went through, and you're going to be like, wow, I'm so glad I learned this. I'm so glad I figured it out, So yeah, I think this June, it's going to be a really impactful, amazing one for you guys. Pile 3, I know it may not sound like the most positive in a way, but it really is. And I see you guys making these changes and really learning to serve yourself and go after your wants and your needs and aligning yourself with this beautiful future of power, abundance that you guys have, and recognizing that the people who are mean to you are probably just threatened and jealous, and it's a compliment. I know that stinks, but it is what it is. So anyway, I really hope it resonated. Let me know if it did, Pile 3. I love hearing from you guys, and make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up. Hit the like button and make sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications. And also, if you want to check out my Patreon, I have that tipsy reading that I did about your future spouse. And I also have my last reading was all about what you can do to achieve your destiny and your dreams, what you can change and fix. So definitely check that out as well. Link is in my bio for that. I'm sending you guys so much love and light, and I hope you all have an amazing day. Oh, and there's lots of other videos on my Patreon, just saying. So definitely check it out. But anyway, it's starting to rain now. I love this weather. But anyway, I'll see you next time, guys. Bye. Hey, Pile 4. So if you guys picked this card, this is going to be your reading. You guys got potential. And for your tarot, you got the Six of Pentacles, King of Wands, the High Priestess, Page of Cups, the Moon, the Emperor, Page of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. So what's coming through right away for you guys is a very strong, almost explosive energy. Like, I honestly feel like some of you guys might have been a little cooped up for the winter or something. And it's, it is June, it is coming into summer, and maybe it's finally warm where you are or something, and you guys are ready to head outside, ready to have a good time. I'm not sure, but this energy just feels very powerful. Fire energy, and we did get the King of Wands, so it makes sense. I feel like some of you guys, you're almost not willing to do things that compromise your desires anymore. Like, you feel like you are doing things for yourself. You are this month choosing to put yourself and your own desires first and getting very in touch with that. With the Page of Cups, maybe you're like, I'm only going to do what makes me feel good, and I want this, so I am going to do it. And not feeling as much about obligation, or like I have to do things because I told this person I would do it, or I know them for so long. And you are like heading into this Emperor, King of Wands energy where you're like, if I don't want to do it, I am not doing it. It is going to be my way or the highway. Not in a bad way, not like you are running over anyone else, but you're like, this is my life. I'm going to do the things that make me feel good. And for some of you guys, maybe it's going outside. Like, I'm seeing someone wearing like a cute outfit that's honestly showing a little bit of skin. Showing off a little. Like, I feel like you guys might be doing things that make you feel really good in the moment. And the King of Wands can talk about that. It can talk about even being a little, I want to say, having a little bit of fun and sometimes in the bedroom, or just going on a lot of dates, dating around, and, going out and really just taking the world, for everything they can, and kind of like enjoying every moment, kind of a vibe. That wand energy, I love it because it's not so out in like a spiritual world. It's very rooted in the physical. You know what I mean? It's very rooted in the body and in like, I want to do it or I don't. And that's how most wand or fire energy people present to me, Leo, Aries, and Sag, is like if they want to do it, they'll do it. And if they don't, they're not doing it, period, point blank. Like try to get an Aries to do something and they don't want to do it, like there's no chance. They will not do it. And, you know, I love that though. It's like when they say yes, you know they really want to say yes. When they say no, I mean, that's it. There's whether you like it or not, there's no point in arguing. And I feel like you guys are this month really choosing to do things that make you feel good, make you have fun. So I feel like I wouldn't be surprised if you guys went out on the town and enjoyed yourself a little bit and had a lot of fun and just did things that really emotionally fill up your own cup this month. Honestly, it feels fun. Like I'm feeling like there's music playing and I'm ready to have a couple margaritas. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting. Let me get some more cards and see what else Spirit has to say about the month of June for pile 4. So this one says trust. I'm going to put those back because 2 came out and I kind of don't. I hate when that happens, to be honest. So sometimes I'll read it, but a lot of times if it's 2 or more coming out, I'll just put it back. So we got good luck, trust, animals. Oh my gosh, don't fall off. Boundaries. Yes, I can definitely see the vibe of putting up some boundaries this month. And like I said, not doing anything you don't want to do. Justice. Okay. And blessings. So yeah, I feel like you guys are becoming a lot more decisive. Like this is bringing to mind like a judge. And you know how judges will just say like, you know, objection overruled or sustained. And they don't say like, yeah, I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to like actually deny that objection, but I want you to know that like it's nothing against you. It's nothing personal. And like, maybe we can reschedule and do it another time because I mean, I really do like you and we do have a good vibe, but it's just not working for me right now. They're just like objection overruled. What's next? You know what I mean? And sometimes we can get very like wishy-washy. And once you get into an energy of being decisive, like at the times, I have been a wishy-washy person for sure. I mean, I am a Pisces. Hello, us and Libra are like the wishy-washy people of the zodiac. But you know, as I've learned more and more to lean into like being decisive and being like, I like that, I don't. And trusting my initial judgment about a situation. So if someone texts me like, hey, I really want you to come out tonight, but I have a bad feel, it isn't resonating, I'm not going to go. I don't care what it is. I don't care if like Harry Houdini showed up and, you know, sang the Macarena. I would not go. I'd be like, I'm good. I don't want to go because that's what Spirit's telling me. And that's the thing is like, once you find whatever's resonating with you in your heart and what's a heck yes or a heck no, it becomes so much easier to turn someone down, to agree to something, to be like, that doesn't work for me. That does, to be like, no, you know, you didn't call me back and like, so I'm not returning your call or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Or like, or the vibe was off and so yeah, I left, like whatever the case may be, just learning to be strong in our own judgments, learning that like I made the decision and I'm going to stand by it, and or I trust myself, I trust what I think, I trust my impressions of the situation is so important. And I feel like you guys are doing that this month. And so it's like you feel much more empowered. You feel like you're just out there in the world, living your best life, choosing to do the things that you want to do. And if someone isn't resonating, you're kind of on to the next. So yeah, I feel like definitely I can see some boundaries being set up, but also more openness to like the good things with the good luck, trust, blessings. So we got fogged in, go slow, take time, voyage of the heart, love flows through you and to you, valiant courage, take action with passion, and in the flow, everything is smooth sailing. So this card really sticks out to me because it's the vibe I'm getting is just like, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of fun, honestly, happening with you guys this month. I really could see you guys going out and socializing, maybe even traveling. Some of you guys who might do stuff on social media, I could see some of that doing really well and popping off and just being like on a good trajectory, you know? I feel like you guys are just enjoying life. You're just taking part in the fun of life, in the like I just think this time of year, June, isn't it just like I love summer. I love the energy of summer. I get this way about every season though. I mean, honestly, probably if you could compile like the beginnings of every season, fall, I'm like I just love fall, winter, same. But seriously, something about summer, especially on like the East Coast or in the Midwest, like those places that have really intense winters and suddenly it's summer and everything's so green and blooming, isn't that just the best smell in the world? And it's almost like everyone comes out of hibernation, everyone's ready to have fun, and like the world just becomes alive. Everyone who was in their apartments or everyone who was hiding away in the, heated indoors is suddenly out on the streets and socializing, and it's just such a vibrant, fun vibe. And that's kind of the feeling I'm getting with Pile 4. Like I'm seeing you guys taking more part in the world. Maybe you've been kind of like shut inside a little bit, or maybe you guys have been a little scared, tense over the past few years. I mean, with obviously all the current events, I mean, take your pick of everything. There's multiple current events that can be kind of scary and frightening, right? So maybe you guys have been staying inside and just not wanting to venture out there, but I almost feel like you guys are going to stop being so scared and just be like, I'm open, you know what? And I know I'm protected and I know that everything's going to be okay. And I'm not gonna sit in that energy of fear anymore. I'm gonna put myself out there. I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna show out. I'm gonna dress up. I'm gonna look good. And I'm gonna go out on the town. And I love that for you guys. Like, I just think, yeah, I think this is gonna be a really fun month. And I think you guys are gonna find time to do things you enjoy. With the Page of Cups upright and the Page of Pentacles reversed, it could be that you're like, yeah, I have to meet my business obligations and I have to put in my time at work and I'm gonna like live up to that, but I'm gonna spend way more time on my emotional self, looking after myself emotionally, doing the things that make me feel good. Because I know for me, sometimes, like especially when I'm working really, really hard, and like really busy all the time, I definitely don't have time to like work out sometimes. And so now I finally, because I do enjoy working out and it makes obviously it makes your endorphins flow and everything. So eventually I'm like, I really just need to schedule this in and make it a non-negotiable and like carve that time out, because I feel better when I'm working out and I feel freaking horrible when it's been 5 days of me just working nonstop and literally just not getting any exercise. My body's all like cooped up and I just don't feel good. So I was like, you know what? I just need to schedule this in. And I feel so much better since I started doing that. And I think in general, when we prioritize our emotional side, it's funny how we actually benefit in terms of the work, because I get very like focused on the work I'm doing, whatever it may be. I get very intense about like, I need to meet my deadlines and I need to make sure I fit my obligations. But when we're not looking after our heart and we're not making sure we take the time out to like have fun, meet up with our friends, work out, maybe even, do something like sitting around and watching a movie or just having a fun night in and cooking or baking ourselves our favorite cookies. All those little things that like feed our soul and make us feel good. Of course, in moderation, you don't want to have that out of control. But I feel like you guys this month, maybe you're putting up some boundaries of like, okay, it's time for me to spend a little time doing the things that are going to make me feel good emotionally. And again, that doesn't always look like being indulgent. Sometimes it looks like putting some rules for yourself, like putting some barriers down and applying some Saturn energy and saying like, I am going to work out every day. I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and hit the gym. But we know it's benefiting ourselves emotionally. And I feel like you guys are just focusing on that more. Like I feel like this is like, yeah, fitness routine on point, lifestyle on point, just a lot of fun, like just good vibes. This is someone like performing their highest version of themselves, not like shirking around and moping around. Like, I feel like everyone right now, we're kind of done with winter, right? Like, I love winter more than anyone. It's literally probably my favorite season. However, like this is June time. We are ready for that summer. We are ready for spring. We're ready for the heat. We're ready to be outside in spaghetti straps or wearing a bikini or whatever you guys may wearing a Speedo, whatever it may be. We are ready to have a hot girl summer, have some fun, enjoy, have some drinks, and that's the vibe coming through here really strong. So let me get some more cards for you guys. So let's see what messages Spirit has for June for Pile 4. Okay, so we got Midas touch. Things are working out in your favor. Wow. And we got breathe. This moment matters most. I almost feel like you guys are calling abundance to you by getting in a really happy mood and a really happy vibe by looking after your emotional side and doing this Page of Cups type of work where you are making sure you feel good emotionally. You're actually calling in this money. You're actually bringing in good luck because you're constantly going to be in a happy mood. You're constantly going to be feeling good about yourself and feeling positive. Yeah, we got your true tribe can't show up until you do, and rest, renew, recharge. So it's kind of like, I feel like you guys have maybe in the past done things that haven't really served you or haven't really been what you want to do, but it's like, okay, I have to do this. I have to stay in late at my job, or I have to finish this project, or I have to do that. And it doesn't feel joyful and in alignment with you. And now this month, I see you guys just making a lot more time for yourself, for the things that make you feel good. And again, I don't mean you have to be laying on the couch 24/7 to make yourself feel good, because you'll probably feel pretty bad after a couple of days of doing that for sure. I think self-care can also be things like cleaning your apartment, or, bringing in fresh flowers and arranging them on your, in a vase, and making sure everything is neat and tidy, or, maybe rearranging or getting new furniture or whatever. All these things that might not seem that fun, but they make us feel really good in that moment. Like that feeling after you do a fresh load of laundry and you put it all away and you're like, everything's nice and clean. That's self-care too, even though it might not seem like the most restful activity. But I definitely feel like you guys are going to be making stronger boundaries and only doing the things that work for you. And I think that's going to pay off with abundance. Yeah, this just seems like this is a time when everything is moving in your favor, and you guys might be attracting new friend groups, or it might be a really potent time for you to go out with people, to have friends, to, be out on the scene. I love your true tribe can't show up until you do. So it's almost like when we're not the highest version of ourselves, we also can't attract the right people. Like, I know at times in my life when I've been like frazzled or on edge about something or like stressed, I don't think I'm like the best version of myself to my friends. Of course, like your closest friends that know you super well, like they won't really mind because they know you. But someone that just met you, they might be like, this person seems really on edge. They seem a little out of sorts, and they might be like, oh, this isn't the vibe for me. And they might not know the best version of you. So that's why it's so great when we can just get into an energy of feeling great all the time, feeling vibrant, feeling happy. A lot of this, to me, what's coming to my mind for you guys is listening to happy music that just puts a smile on your face. I think sometimes there's a lot of pressure too with music, or like judgment, like, oh, you're supposed to be listening to all the cool stuff, or you're supposed to be listening to kind of intellectual music. And sometimes we just got to listen to that pop song and dance around our apartment like barefoot and like look kind of silly. There's literally magical positive energy in dancing around in your space. It is a way to clear the energy in your space and to bring in positive energy. It's literally doing magical work when we like dance around and dance with joy and move our body in a really positive way. There's something very alchemical about that. So filling our space with joy, anything we can do to do that. And that's why I said something like baking cookies or burning a candle that smells really good, or, there's a lot of magic in something like a wreath. Like, if you can have like a rose, you could have a rosemary wreath, but I was thinking of bay leaf wreath. Those have a lot of magical power, but all those kinds of wreaths, like fresh flowers, all these things that have to do with bringing in beauty, bringing in joy, bringing in happiness. That's the kind of stuff we want to manifest. That's the kind of stuff we want to bring in that leads to wealth, right? And so all the steps we can take to get there, even though someone might be like, how are you manifesting by making yourself a watermelon margarita with your friends? Like, that's not manifesting. It's like it is to me, because I'm making myself happy in the moment. Obviously, you shouldn't have an over-reliance on alcohol. I'm not saying that, but if it brings you a lot of joy to hang out with your friends, to see them, to laugh, to like have a good time, then yes, that can be manifesting. Okay, so we also got But you don't want to drink too much too, because that is a depressant. But anyway, okay, perfect storm, the courage to step into life, magician's sword, confidence in your magic, feast of plenty, choices and their consequences, whale song, resonating, and stranger curiosity. So you guys might be meeting a lot of random people, new people, fresh energy. Oh, this is just a great month for you guys, I feel. And also, I think you're, like I said before, you're learning to not do things that don't resonate with you. That can be your compass. This brings me joy. This makes me happy. And it's not to say like you never have any discipline, because we need a little bit of discipline. We need to like sometimes live up to our obligations. But once we align with like pure joy, like honestly, once you align with your destiny too, like things that really call to your heart, that should bring you joy. Like there's a saying, you know, find what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. And it's really true. You know, I know for me filming these readings, sometimes I definitely don't feel like filming, but you know, I always get into it and like love channeling for you guys and love delivering the messages, and I never know what Spirit's going to say. So it's always interesting to hear. So, you know, I think it's true that when you're really, really doing something that you love, of course, there's going to be aspects of it that might be like, oh gosh, I have to do this. I have to figure this part out. But for the most part, it's going to resonate as joyful. It's going to be resonating on a high vibrational octave to you. It's going to resonate as like something that moves your spirit in a really positive way. You know what I mean? And so once we start using that as our compass and moving away from anything that doesn't feel that way and being really relentless and ruthless about it. I know I've had to feel bad sometimes because maybe someone wanted to be my friend, but it just wasn't resonating with me. And I was just like, you know, like maybe, you know, especially if I've hung out with a person a few times and given them, I mean, but now I'm much more like cut and dry about it. And sometimes it's not even anything against them. It's nothing. It's not like I'm like, you're a toxic person. I'm just like, it's just not resonating. And it doesn't mean anything bad, right? It doesn't mean anything that there's anything wrong with them. It just means for me, for whatever reason, with whatever path I'm on at this point in my life, if something isn't resonating, I have to be ruthless about like, then that's it. You know what I mean? Then I'm not going to do it, because I spent too many of my lifetime, like years. Maybe that was a Freudian slip saying lifetimes. Maybe I spent multiple lifetimes doing this. I don't know, possibly. But I mean, I do have a Virgo South Node, so it could be. But I definitely spent a lot of years of my lifetime being kind of a people pleaser who would just hang out with someone because they really liked me and they were nice to me or they wanted to hang out. And a lot of empaths do that, you know, especially if you have healing abilities, then a lot of times, like, especially people that need help will like gravitate towards you. And then you end up giving your energy away. And then you're like, why don't I have any energy to bring into myself? And it's just a mess. So learning to be very like I said, ruthless about it. Like, it's not working for me. Nope. It does work for me. I'm doing it. And that's it. And like having that very kind of binary system of like, yes or no, and checking in with yourself constantly to see what your spirit says to you. And I feel like, again, if you guys have been a little scared about stepping out into the world, about being your highest self, about putting yourself out there, about engaging in the world and being friendly and talking to people, now that's going to start fading away this June. You guys are going to realize that you're divinely protected and you can go anywhere, do whatever you want, have fun, enjoy, and your guides will protect you. Okay, so I want to get from this pile, of course. This is the last pile. Let's see. What messages are coming through for pile 4 for the month of June? So we got rest and relaxation. That is a huge energy that's come through like more than once for you guys. But then we also have 5th chakra Archangel Gabriel, which is the throat chakra, as well as 3rd chakra Archangel Chamuel, which is the solar plexus chakra. Then we have cornucopia, hostilities, and door to spirit. So I feel like for you guys, this is a spiritual journey. This is you guys realizing that it's okay to put up boundaries. It's okay to go after the things you want. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think we put a lot of judgment or a lot of like praise on like sacrificing yourself. Like you are supposed to be a, really serving person that's always giving everything of yourself to others. You're not supposed to be selfish. You're not ever supposed to be self-centered. You're always supposed to think of others, and how dare you prioritize yourself. And I feel like you guys are starting to move away from that and realizing that there's something very divine about prioritizing yourself, about realizing that you do deserve to have all the good things in life, to have all these blessings, to have all these amazing gifts and all these amazing, beautiful things that anyone could want. And if one person has it, why can't you have it? You know what I mean? If anyone else has it and you want it, maybe there's a message from spirit to you there of like, that can be yours. You can go for it. We get to choose what we manifest in this lifetime. So if something is calling your attention in that way and you're like, I would love to live that kind of life, then it's about aligning yourself with that energy as soon as possible and getting yourself going with that, and not accepting anything else that comes your way that isn't in alignment with that. And I really feel like you guys are just figuring that out this month. You are no longer willing to, tolerate what doesn't resonate with you 100%. You are now in an energy of really preserving your own energy, really realizing that your energy is a gift and a blessing, and that people are lucky to have you around, and that everything you touch has the potential to turn to gold. Remember, you guys got the Midas touch. So you guys can think of yourselves that way this month as like, I'm Midas. Everything I touch is a blessing. Everything I touch turns to gold. I benefit everywhere I go. You can say that to yourself as a mantra. One of my lines that I love, that I say all the time from A$AP Rocky Peso is, just to kick it is a blessing. I just love that line because it's like, yeah, my presence, my energy, my special, whatever I have is a blessing to be around. And so is yours, right? We all need to have that attitude that like, I'm a blessing to this world. I bring people up. Me reaching my goals and having goodness showered on me is a blessing to everyone around me. Me resonating in a high vibrational, positive, happy energy blesses anyone who might have the luck to come into contact with me. So yeah, I feel like you guys are learning a lot more. You're becoming a lot more decisive. You're learning to speak up, and again, learning not to go with anything that doesn't resonate with you. With that throat chakra being activated, like I feel like you guys are you are making it clear of like, I'm going to speak up, and if I'm not down, I'm not down. And if I am down, I'm down. But I'm no longer going to do this stuff that doesn't serve me. I'm only going to look after myself, and I'm only going to do things that truly make me feel my highest version of myself, positive, excited, enthusiastic, joyful. That's the energy we should all be striving to vibrate in at all times. So I really hope this resonated. Pile 4. Let me know if it did. I love hearing from you guys. So definitely let me know in the comments, and make sure to give this reading a big thumbs up. Hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe as well, and turn on those notifications so you can find out as soon as I post. And also make sure to go down to the link in my bio, check out my Patreon. You can see all my readings that I posted. And the last one I did was all about what you could change or do to achieve your dreams. So if you want to join us over there, we have a ton of fun readings, a lot of cute, different, interesting ones, including some tipsy readings and stuff like that. So definitely check it out. Link in my bio for that, for my Patreon. And I think that's about it, you guys. So I hope you all have an amazing day, and I'll be back very soon for another reading. Sending you so much love and light. Take care of yourselves, guys. Bye.